say cooking. Like when you're just kind of flipping through the channels and you see a cooking show, just, oh, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch how that guy did that. It's amazing how just adding all that stuff together just adds so much, I don't know, passion for me, just watching all that. I just am glued to the TV watching that. I love to eat too, so.
I like classical music, love classical music. And it's just so it just goes through your whole being and relaxes you, and it becomes a part of you, different than any other kind of music that I've ever been exposed to. I also like to be in places that are high energy, a place to volunteer where people are busy and happy and sharing and giving of themselves unselfishly. I like that a lot. That's a fun place to be. I like to be in lively discussions where everybody has a voice, everybody gets to share. That's a fun place also.
I love to dance. I dance. And, you know, I go hiking and backpacking, and I love to cook. I'm kind of a homebody in some way. I really like cooking. And go to parties. It's true, because I love to dance.
What you love shows what you are gifted at. It shows love is the banner of genius. Genius, I use the word and I use it deliberately. Genius means original vision. It doesn't mean somebody who's got the Nobel Prize. It means original vision. Everyone is born with it. It is genetic. You are an unusual, once in a lifetime, once in the history of the universe, combination of these abilities and sensibilities. You walk through a different world than anyone else. You really do. You see colors different, you sense time differently, you hear different things when people speak. There is no way of knowing who you are, or what you're doing, or what you should be doing, until you do it.
Consider the important connection between interests and work environments. If you have social interests, you might thrive in a newsroom with 40 desks close together in a wide open space, phones ringing and televisions blaring, heading towards your afternoon deadlines. If you have scientific interests, you might prefer a quiet, clean, structured laboratory where everything is labeled and stored in specific places, and there are set procedures for running experiments and handling equipment.
The type of environment that I think I would be drawn to would probably be one that's more or less slow-paced. I really don't like the fast-paced environments. I mean, when I have a deadline and I need to get something done, I can do it. I do work well under pressure, but my preference would be a slower pace.
Our personality and interests influence the kind of work we might prefer.
Interests give us two very important paths. Interests give us ideas about the kind of work that somebody would be interested in doing. They also give us very good clues to the kind of environment that somebody would be interested in working in, and the kind of people that they would want to work with. So an interest may lead to a kind of company or an industry that somebody might pick. And it's also going to give clues to what are they going to be doing on a daily basis on the job.
There are 4 aspects of all work: information, ideas, people, and things. These 4 aspects figure, to one degree or another, in any work we do. Our personality and interests influence which of these aspects will figure most in the work we prefer. Write these down to refer to later: information, ideas, people, and things. But how do we know which aspects we prefer? Let's look at the differences between working with information, ideas, people, and things. If you are an accounts payable clerk, you process bills, orders, and checks, stacks, files, and folders of paperwork. But you probably don't interact with coworkers or customers. You spend your time concentrating. You work primarily with information. If you work at the front desk of a hotel, you deal with guests during your entire shift, making reservations, giving directions, taking calls, and answering questions. You work primarily with people. If you are an interior decorator, you use your imagination to redesign homes and offices, imagining textures, colors, and shapes. That's working with ideas. Then you choose the fabrics, paint, and furniture to make your vision a reality. That's working with things. Some work involves primarily one aspect, other work involves 2 or 3. Which aspects of work appeal most to you?
Probably by being with other people. I mean, I certainly get energy by being alone, and it's certainly important to do that on occasion, but I probably I'm more of a social person. Huh, okay, good. Working on my own and really, without much interaction, isn't nearly as exciting or interesting to me.
I love to work with ideas. I like to see ideas manifest into something. And I like to do that with people, like the whole collaborative process of working with people. But it doesn't necessarily mean I need to work with them all the time. Like, I can collaborate and then we each go and do our parts and then come back together. I'm not particularly a researcher. I don't like to research things. So I like to find people who like to research. And I love to make things. So it's kind of a combination.
Does your ideal job involve information, ideas, people, or things? Or some combination?
Somebody who is interested in working with information, working with data, good with numbers, but also likes to work with people, there's a range of occupations that they would be happy in. And I want to use the example of accounting, because when people think of accounting, they often think accountants, all they're doing all day is just working with numbers. And in fact, accounting firms need people with people skills, because accountants are working with customers, they're working with clients. They need to be able to communicate with them, they need to be able to gain their trust, they need to be able to make recommendations to them later on. So those communication and people skills are very essential in a field that we tend to think of or have a stereotype of as just being numbers-based, and that's not true.
Draw a simple pie chart as you decide which aspects are most important to you. For example, maybe you prefer a job with aspects of 80% people, 15% information, and 5% things. A high school counselor's position can be charted this way. Advising students most of the time, that's 70% people. Making recommendations about their schedules and classes, that's about 20% information. Then entering these records into a computer, 10% things. Go back to your personal career profile and include this chart. We'll use this information in your job search later on. And now, check out this hot tip.
Hi, I'm Patrick Combs with another hot tip. Follow your enthusiasm. It's powerful to get clear on what makes you enthusiastic. Follow your enthusiasm and you get maximum energy for successful action, and you end up very happy. Finish this sentence. I really get excited when I rapidly complete this sentence 20 or 30 times. The key is to complete it many times and do it as quickly as possible. Write down or recite it into a recorder, whatever comes out, even if it seems silly or trite. Because when you're done, you have this amazing list of what truly gets you excited. And what's on that list are your power supplies for success. Why are some people more motivated than others? Because they are tapping into their boundless enthusiastic energy. Everyone knows their enthusiasms when they're young. And those childhood enthusiasms are still relevant. Don't let what other people think of your career become more important than doing what makes you enthusiastic. Follow your enthusiasms because they lead you to your destiny. Until next time, be great.
How do you focus your energy? Maybe you prefer many activities happening at once all around you so that you're focused outward. Or maybe you tend to concentrate on ideas and insights so that you're focused inward. Most of the time, are you a talker or a listener? After a busy week, what sounds most relaxing to you? A quiet dinner and movie with one or a few close friends? Or a night on the town with a large group of people?
There's nothing better than to be around other energetic people. It's exciting, it gets you going, it gives you kind of not just twice, but sometimes 6 and 7 times the energy to be around really kind of positive, up, energetic, forward-looking people.
Next, how do you take in information? Do you look at the details in the present, what's going on right now, or do you envision possibilities in the future? What could happen?
In order for me to be detail-oriented, I need to get a bird's eye view of the entire situation. Like when I started work, or any place that I've worked, you just can't sit there and learn how to use the computer system. I always have to know why. What are we doing this for? You know, what's the point? You know, don't just show me this computer system and say, okay, you have to know to put this here and that there. I get a better understanding if I can take the bird's eye view and then, you know, focus in on the detail. And that's when I really learn.
Finally, how do you manage your time? Your personality definitely shows up here. Time is very important to all of us. So some people need to look at time as open, flexible, and spontaneous. They go with the flow of whatever is happening. Other people need to see time as planned, organized, and scheduled. They make things happen in a decisive way.
I see myself as motivating other people. I guess that's a better way to put it. And so I see that as a very definite common thread throughout everything. I also see myself as very organized and logical and plan very well, quickly. It doesn't take a long time for me to grasp what's happening and know how to organize it.
We need different personalities to live and work together. If you're assigned to a group project at school, you want students who can come up with the big ideas and the students who can handle the small details. When my husband and I plan a vacation, I'm better at organizing and planning, flight schedules, hotel reservations, and the budget weeks in advance. He's better at saying, let's explore that waterfall in the jungle this afternoon. We use our different personalities to pull off a great trip.
That's Brian. Hi, how you doing?
I think it's important to look at the big picture because it kind of sets up the mission and the objective of what you want to get accomplished. But then the detailed aspect of it, you know, you need to lay out a plan, a detailed plan with actual dates and how it's going to be accomplished. It's very important, so you have to be able to do both.
Thinking about your personality takes time and effort, and recognizing your personality is crucial as you decide what you want in your ideal career. For more information about your personality, see if your local career center on campus or in the community can administer personality assessments for you. These assessments will ask you a series of questions similar to the questions I've asked in this episode. The assessments may be completed by computer or on paper. Now, this process is called an assessment and not a test, since there are no right or wrong answers. Some people find them useful. Please make sure that assessment results are given to you by a career counselor who is trained to respond to your questions.
A student who has a very strong interest in art and knows one of the aspects of themselves is that they like to work very independently. They like to work very autonomously. So what we would be doing is incorporating those preferences in their career search and helping them discover options in the world of art where the work that they do is not, doesn't have a customer service dimension, for example, doesn't have a meet the public dimension, but they might be doing something in the background where they're doing some planning or some designing, maybe working with a small team of people, but then ultimately